uses and weaponizes her beauty, okay, and of course weaponizes sex to her advantage to conquer and manipulate, gain control, okay, and authority and lord over. Jezebel uses her beauty and her sex, okay. These are women who do this, okay. Seduction, sex and seduction to get what they want from men, and they teach other women how to use their beauty and sex to their advantage. They are in fact Jezebels. Now when I spoke of, I can, in my mind, I picture this particular one, number 6, of seeing it very heavily in our society. Not just a little bit, but a lot. I mean, where to the point where it's oppressive. It's one thing to be attractive. It's one thing to be sexy, alluring, but they've like went way past that point to the point where it's just it smothers you. It's like that's all that they are offering. That's all they can offer you, to a man, to a woman, and they constantly keep saying getting to the bag, getting to the bag, getting to the bag, twerk, 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 getting to the bag, drop it low. I mean, they just keep, it's like overly sexualizing, where it doesn't matter if you have a brain, any kind of intellect, any there's so many things. I mean, a good sense of humor, good values. It's just like, it's just a big you know what, and that's all I'm offering, okay. And money, make it rain, and all this stuff. It just, to the point, me as a woman, I'm not a saint, but it even has me like, oh my God. I mean, like, really? I mean, there's so much more to people than that, okay? Number 7. Now, Jezebel, she served this pagan god, Baal, okay? He was the god of prosperity. Okay, so take that into account. What I just said, get into the bag. Okay, Jezebel, Baal. Okay, Baal. Now, this particular deity, okay, if you will, or god, paganistic god, is been represented and talked about quite a bit in our movies and literature. Okay, whether you believe in them or not. Okay, but the interesting part about this particular god, or to some maybe they may consider to be fictional, mythical, is that he was a god of prosperity, he was a god of harvest, and he was a god of fertility and sex. Now, Baal is served today, okay, that's what people are saying, by many women and even men. They say even men who subscribe to this, who use their sex and other things and are highly manipulative, okay, today. The false gospel of prosperity and blessings is what Baal is, a worship. So when they're doing all of these things in these videos and in these movies and advertisements, and just the regular people in their presentation, how they present themselves to you, this is a form of worship. So we talked about in the past on here, we didn't really go into this particular part of it. We talked about how music, okay, we talked about very briefly the music industry. We talked about other forms of worship. But what they're saying here, and it's very, very telling, is that even doing this, okay, doing this is a form of worship, that you are making sex as well as money, and using sex and your overall presence, your physicality as to get that money as a type of worship, okay? The almighty dollar, okay? And it doesn't have the symbols on it just for nothing, okay? So it says many churches are serving, not Christ, they are serving Baal. They said, do not be fooled by them using his name. Okay, they're saying his name, Jesus, but really what they're worshiping is the other one. That's it. That's ultimately what we've been talking about all along. Women who serve or worship, if you will, prosperity, fertility, and sex are Jezebels, if they say, serving Baal all over again. There's nothing new under the sun, even if it seems new. Even when we talked about they rebrand things, okay, to make them seem spick and span. This is something new. It is not new. Okay, they give it some kind of veneer like it's new, and then they, shout the praise of it. Oh my God, look at this! But it's the same thing. People look at the Bible, they look at the Old Testament, they may even look at the New Testament. Even though it's called New Testament, they think it's something that's antiquated and has like cobwebs on it and dust on it. But this stuff, if you actually have eyes to see, that's the question here, and ears to hear, when you truly just stop and look, you'll see some things, okay? It's not so mythical and fictional as they would want you to believe, okay? That's why I keep saying over and over again that in the Bible, if it is not true, why is every single thing that's in that book happening in real time right now? If it's not true. Something to truly, truly, truly think about. So it says, do not be fooled by them appearing like Christians. Okay, so you have to be careful of other people, okay, just people you come in contact in your daily life, but you also have to be very careful of those who are professing to be believers. They go on to say that each church that is led by a woman with this particular influence or spirit on them is serving, they keep reiterating that, this pagan god Baal. Just look at what they preach. Prosperity, okay? So you have prosperity ministries, okay? Prosperity, fertility, harvest, and the bottom line, sex. So this is going back to what I was saying of seeing this upsurge of videos of people actually looking at what women are actually wearing when they go to church now. How kind of out there they are, like they're actually going out on the prowl, but they're allegedly going, that's my term for it, of many, going to church allegedly. It says, number 8, calls herself a prophetess. Jezebel calls herself a prophetess, as said in the church exactly of the red terrier, which was found in Revelations 2:20. This is how she made the list for false prophetesses in our previous episodes before. She calls herself a God's servant, but in reality, she is not. Many women calling themselves prophetesses and God's servants today are not, but they are actually, serving the pagan god, or in this case, the bottom line, the adversary. Okay. Many have gone on to open churches. Just look at the characteristics of their so-called churches and see the traits that they are actually displaying. See what they teach over and over. Test them. See if they are good. Number 9, she is against the true God prophets. Now, Jezebel in the Bible killed God prophets, and she was against one of the prophets, as we spoke of already, Elijah. All women with this particular spirit are against all prophets, okay? And they want to seek and destroy them. Now, Jezebel hates the true gospel. That's with anything. Whether they have the spirit upon them, they don't want to hear the truth. And this is also reflected, this is not in the article, of people today that you come in contact with when you talk to them and you tell them the truth, just in general, not necessarily about the Bible, okay? You're just talking to them about everyday things. It could be the most mundane thing, and you say something. And I've shared having these, what I consider to be odd conversations or exchanges with people telling them something and then watching them get irate and mad, and you're looking at them like, why are you getting mad about this? You know, this